For well over 1,000 years, this region has been a center for agriculture and all of the products that come alongside it. Homegrown is an ongoing series spotlighting the people who continue that tradition and their wares. Presented by Sid's Food Market, with the hope that we continue to spark an ongoing renaissance as we move into the future.
So actually, I never used to drink tea at all. I was a diehard coffee drinker. I probably drank about 5 or 6 cups a day to get through the day. At that time, I had to give up coffee for health reasons. And I just remember the day that I was walking through the grocery store aisle looking for an alternative to coffee, and tea seemed like the natural alternative, but I just couldn't find anything that was very inspiring. In the South, it's Lipton, usually iced and super sweet. So yeah, couldn't find the right inspiration in that. So I decided if I couldn't find it, I was going to make it. And so I made my first tea blend at that time, which was probably about 15 years ago. And it's called Cafe Sans Cafe, which Sid's does carry. And it's a bridge between tea and coffee. It's a blend of Assam black tea with chicory and vanilla bean. And it really helped kind of bridge that gap for me and move away from coffee. Teaching then took me to China, and that's actually where I fell down the rabbit hole and just really discovered the difference between fresh loose leaf tea and understanding not just tea itself, but also the culture around tea. When I returned to the United States, I moved to Santa Fe and had decided that I needed a hiatus from teaching, and I ended up working at the tea house on Canyon Road in Santa Fe for, at that time, the owner was Dion Christian, and she was a master tea blender, and that's where I really started to cut my teeth in blending tea and learning even more about the world of tea and tea blends specifically. And it just kind of ballooned from there. It became such a hobby and passion of mine that I decided when I looked at my cupboards, I didn't have enough room, so I needed to do something with it all. And so Tea.O.Graphy was born. Taos was just a hop, skip, and a jump from Santa Fe, and I just really fell in love with it here. It's one of those places, northern New Mexico in general, but Taos especially, it just gets in your bones. Within the tea shop, we actually call it a tea family. You know, we're a staff of 11, but the word staff just doesn't really cover it. We really do have a really beautiful community here of amazing people, and without them, we couldn't be where we are now. So Sid's was one of our first accounts that we landed, which was huge and has been a point of pride for us ever since. And we just really appreciate that they are so willing to give local small businesses that chance. And what it does, especially for small businesses, is it gives you visibility and trust in your product for consumers. There's that brand loyalty that starts to develop in a store that they already have loyalty to, and they know and can trust that they're sourcing and products that are locally created, and that's a focus for them, and that are ethically created, and that, you know, are often organic, which ours is as well. So it means a lot to be there and to also be alongside other local producers in that way. And as we've grown into, you know, more and more staff, we've also added a lot of key placements. So as Sid's was the first, and then we've grown into places like Ojo Caliente, Los Poblanos, the Blake Hotel, and even beyond our state's borders. We also have tea at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library. We do private labels for a host of companies, including Moon Unit Zappa, and just growing all the time. We do a variety of custom blends, private labels, and even what we consider dual branded labels, which is where our logo and another client's logo is also on the packaging. And you'll see that in a lot of our placements, like at Ojo Caliente or Los Poblanos. And so sometimes they'll take on teas that we already have in-house, and oftentimes we'll also do custom blends, which Los Poblanos is a great example for that. They have a lot of lavender blends that are specific to to what they do there. And it's exciting to be in a place like that too, because there's more than just like the retail farm shop. They also have a restaurant. They have the inn side as well, the hospitality side. So we can really grow throughout the property. So you'll find us in the rooms there, you'll find us in the farm shop, you'll find us at the restaurant, in their spa, and for various events. In the world of tea, there's also the purest relationship to tea, which is straight leaf teas and nothing else. And this, as soon as you blend in other ingredients or herbs and spices, you no longer have a tea in the purest world. And what I love about blending is it just kind of, and of course that's done within the world of tea as well, but it just kind of breaks that mold a little, and you get to add a lot of creativity in what you're doing, and enhancing flavors and profiles of really beautiful teas and ingredients. So one of the things that we like to do is kind of even push the envelope as to what you might expect in a cup of tea. So we like to use red chili in some of our blends, and that's another local ingredient that we do sources. You'll find classics, but you'll also find things that are really unique to us. I'm Dana, and we are here at the production studio for Tea.O.Graphy on Kit Carson Road in Taos.